Hello folks, Fuzz here, and today I want to speak a little bit about Planet Coaster. This is my first video actually covering the development of this game, but the current plan is to bring lots of content your way, especially when Frontier release the Early Access Edition, and we can actually begin playing it ourselves for the first time. So I'm slowly moving away from reading YouTube comments for various reasons. Basically they spam my inbox and give me a bit of a headache. So if you do want to share your thoughts with me, then the best way to do so is to make a post over at the new FuzzfingerGaming forum that I've set up, and I will put a link to that in the video description. I do make sure to read every post that I make that is made over there. For this first video, which is basically going to be an overview of my thoughts on the things we know so far, and things we don't know as well, but would really have expected to have known this close to the playable release, if that makes sense. Now, if you're not already aware, Frontier are the developers behind Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which was released back in 2004, I think, off the top of my head. And while Atari own the rights to that franchise and have Roller Coaster Tycoon World in active development, of course, it is actually Planet Coaster that could be classed as the true spiritual sequel. In fact, when you look at the art style to the game, it really, at least to me, feels like a next-gen version of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and it has that similar colourful style, but obviously with a greater focus on modern high-res textures. The game looks great, it really does, and one of the reasons I'm excited about the early access release is to make sure that the marketing team have given us an accurate representation of what we will actually be playing, and if they have, then I will be impressed. So let's talk of what we know about some of the game's systems. One of the criticisms I think that people levelled at Roller Coaster Tycoon World, myself included actually, was the poor implementation of the spline-based coaster editor. And thankfully Atari are addressing those concerns by adding piece-by-piece building. So it looks like we will be getting something similar in Planet Coaster. The coaster editor itself will be based on a traditional piece-by-piece track builder, but it will also include the option to manipulate each section of track to the player's needs. For instance, if we take a look at this screenshot here, then we can see a corner section of track that has been added and can be further manipulated by dragging it to increase or decrease the size, as well as extra options to increase the height and adjust the banking angle. Now, Frontier have also said that there will be plenty of different track pieces and special elements that are being included, such as loops and twisted corkscrews. Also on coaster building, we will be able to build our tracks underground, thanks to a specially integrated tunnel building system. I don't know how exactly this is going to work, and we could actually do this in previous games, but it always felt clunky, and often at times you would have to build the roller coaster first and then build the terrain around it. So hopefully this new system is going to address some of those issues. One of the features that has been announced, which I guess isn't really a surprise for a 2016 simulation game, but it is nice to see confirmed, is the ability to share our creations with the Planet Coaster community. And it looks like there is a useful in-game interface that will allow us to do just that. So I'm going to talk in a moment about custom generated scenery, but presumably this sharing interface will allow us to upload our in-game design tracks and buildings. If you remember how it was possible to create buildings in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, by taking pre-modelled walls, windows, doors and roofs and plonking them all together into some kind of meaningful way, well, that's basically the same kind of system we're going to be using in Planet Coaster. However, with the handy ability to quickly import the finished buildings from other players, we won't have to be intricately designing every shop or archway, station complex, etc. ourselves. Now, we can still do so if we want to, but we don't have to, and of course choice is a very powerful thing. Okay, so I did briefly mention custom scenery, and this is perhaps where some of my concerns begin. To clarify, when we speak of custom scenery, we're not referring to the buildings that can be made in-game, and I know that that term does confuse some people. Custom scenery is the ability to use 3D third-party modelling software in order to create whole new assets, whether that be themes, buildings and even new rides, in order for them to be imported back into the game and then shared with other players. The ability to create custom scenery has definitely become a kind of, I guess, expected staple of modern simulation games. We have it with City Skylines, for example, and it has actually already been confirmed as a fully integrated system in Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Custom scenery is a huge feature. We don't want to make any mistake about that, because it basically allows a constant stream of new game content. Even if, like myself, you don't particularly care for 3D modelling, you would still be able to import other people's creations into your game, basically opening up this entire world of content at your fingertips. Where the worry comes in is that Frontier will not confirm that the ability to create and share custom scenery is a feature that is going to be supported by Planet Coaster. It's possible, I guess, that they're simply attempting to work out the technical implications of such a feature, or perhaps they don't even want it included at all, and for now at least are avoiding the issue in order to not get any negative marketing. Either way, right now it isn't looking promising, but hopefully we will get a confirmation one way or another very soon. And another concern is the apparent lack of enthusiasm on Frontier's part for the implementation of water rides. Of course we know that every theme park has them, but apparently our Planet Coaster parks may not, at least not for a while. And Frontier have said they're focusing more on shipping a quality product, which is of course fair enough, but that fully fledged water rides may be tricky to implement. We already know that Atari have put water rides onto the back seat, which disappointed a lot of people, and it never really crossed my mind that Planet Coaster would do the same, but it seems that sadly they have. Anyway, there we have it. Planet Coaster is slated for release later this year, although if you do want to try it out before, there is an early access beginning later this month. Again, it would be great if you signed up to the FuzzfingerGaming forum. The link is in the video description, and then you can offer your thoughts on both this and Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Which will you be getting, or will you be playing both? I've been your host Fuzzfinger, thanks for watching, and take care until next time.